Okay, we're at Vicksburg Battlefield. The Yazoo River's up here and it flows into the Mississippi right there at Vicksburg. We just toured the Cairo, the Union battleship, the only one left.
From those who never wished it. Glory to those who never dreamed it. Immortality, for they earned it. To Confederate soldiers of Tennessee.
Okay, there's the Tennessee.
What it does to water tables.
Okay.
First of all, have you made any reevaluation?
Okay, Bill's got his top on.
What people who count themselves as green nowadays say, or are they simply missing the point? Of course, we continue to make reevaluation.
Credit investment and financial planning advice nationwide, asset management and investment banking, RaymondJames.com. From Subaru, the car company with symmetrical all-wheel drive standard on every vehicle, featuring the Outback, Forester, Baja, and W1
with several suspected rebels during a raid by U.S. troops and Iraqi security forces.
Jefferson Davis.
President Bush says the record level of home ownership in the U.S. is a further sign of an economic rebound, and he claims that the tax cuts he...
Support for NPR comes from Lumina Foundation, dedicated to expanding access and success in post-secondary education. On the web at luminafoundation.org.
Okay, that's the arch. Is at the beginning of the one to the battlefield. We're leaving the Vicksburg battlefield.
The tour road's still open. When it closes, 6 o'clock, I guess.
6 o'clock. Okay, we'll come on back out.
And we're going to go right here.
Yeah, go right. Pretty impressive restoration here. Okay. Levee Street Station.
300 Union soldiers aboard, many of whom were former prisoners of war. 200 civilians also on board. Boiler, the Sultana exploded this up ahead. Isn't that something? Find the blue again? Huh?
I want to see the steamship over here.
You want to go up and try to find the blue again?
I want to see the steamship over here.
Want me to stop?
No, this is okay. Thank you. That's a gambling boat. And I guess that's the hotel you can stay in and a walkway over to the boat to gamble.
Yes, it's Cedar Grove.
Cedar Grove, yeah. Very nice.
Look at the Corners Mansion bed and breakfast. That's very nice. You see it over there?
Uh-huh. Very nice. Some pretty places here.
You want to ask about...
We ate lunch. The barbecue place. A lot of gambling around this place. We're in downtown Jackson. There's the Capitol Dome over there. Back here is the fairgrounds.
The across the street, and so things are happening in both areas. But there's such a
Saturday morning in downtown
very
Jackson.
informative
Looking
people.
for signs to go to the Baroque residence.
I believe Dr. Dirk is still speaking, and
presentation that he's going to be giving this afternoon at 1:30. So we invite everyone to come out and listen to him, and certainly to take some of those tips and hints back home with them and put those things.
Jackson.
the chamber here in Ocean Springs is a very active one. And
not pretty, what is that?
What is that? Probably a former governor's mansion.
Could be.
Be the governor's mansion.
Oh look, that's a pretty view down that street too. Jackson, Mississippi. Brick streets look nice.
Rebels swarmed through the camp, plundering the tents and wagons, breaking into trunks, and flinging clothing onto the ground. Gold and jewelry were taken from Verena and Maggie Howell.
Listen to Bert Davis.
Troopers scattered Bibles and prayer books in the grass, and even carried off Pie Cake's baby garments as souvenirs. 2 horses, and Wood made his escape. He was bound for Florida. Chapter 10. He must be executed. Colonel Pritchard herded his captives along the road toward Macon early on the morning of May 11th. Reagan, Harrison, Johnston, and Wood, with no emotion other than scorn. When he saw Johnson's name on the sheet, Davis said, "The miserable scoundrel knows it is false. Of course, the accusation will fail, but now these people will be willing to assassinate me."
That was probably the old
On May
place
13th,
there.
after 3 days on the road, the band reached Macon, where the captives were halted for an hour on the outskirts of town under heavy guard. As the fear-filled children clung to their father, but Henry Potter, an officer in the 4th Michigan, who didn't accompany the raiders, scoffed at this as all nonsense. Many men of the unit, he said, hadn't fired a shot during their service. He added with a hint of envy, but the fact that they gobbled up old Jeff will be enough to put their names in history. They gave him a share of the plain but hearty supper he had bought from the boat's cook, using some of the last of her meager hoard of coins. Both the president and vice president seemed to recover during the night. Davis went on deck in the early morning, and there, for the first time in 3 months, spoke with Stevens. The morning was warm, clear, and sunny, with a didn't smile. The two spoke briefly, exchanging only a few words, and as Stevens recalled it, these were commonplace. Federal guards watched and listened attentively as the Confederate leaders met and quickly parted.
Here, Indian.
The infuriated Smith sprang to his feet with upraised hammer.
Hello.
Titlow Steppes, who was as innocent as they. Chapter 13.
Lots of red, bud.
Ankle deep in gold and silver. This small
black soil
fortune
out
disappeared
here.
to private hands.
There's a black soil everywhere.
Only one portion of the official Confederate treasure remained intact. The $25,000 residue of funds entrusted to President Davis on his brother. This treasure trove, too, provoked a squabble at its final disposition. Made wary by reports of federal troops prowling the region of Upper Florida, Captain
Mississippi's over there. That's where my boy's from, and my mother Bryson there.
Don't be Virginia. Our country needs her young men now. When Captain Wise told his father that he had taken the oath, the fiery ex-governor roared, "You've disgraced the family." General Lee advised me to do it. Oh, that alters the case. Whatever General Lee says is all right. I don't care what it is. Northern newspapermen also saw Lee's views on the plight of the South and the political dilemma facing the nation. Cassette 7. On July 4th, as Davis and Clay sweltered in their cells, and the federal garrison whooped and paraded and fired muskets to mark Independence Day, a final scene in the collapse of the Confederate Empire was enacted on the banks of the Rio Grande, some 2,000 miles to the southwest of the Chesapeake Capes. With a scorching wind stirring a dust storm at their backs.